You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot get ahead in life if all you do is play the comparison game. And if you are playing this game, I can guarantee you this: the outcome is misery, unfulfillment, and unhappiness. Is that really worth playing? Alternatively, you could play a game on your terms, your rules, and be successful at it. Which one are you going to choose? Unfortunately, we all play this game of comparison. And what that does is we start overthinking and thinking to ourselves that we are behind in life. And that's a very negative place to be in life. It's very unfulfilling because the whole point of life is you need to have a purpose, you need some goals, you need to be aspiring to something to become a better version of yourself. But unfortunately, we live in this society where everything is now quick, where everything comes without work, and everything is glamorized, which is probably not reality for most of us because all of us have struggles. Even the glamorous life of people has struggles. And you have to understand, it is human nature to play the comparison game, but it's also, God has also blessed you with agency. You have a different mind to most people, to most animals or mammals in this case. You have agency over self. You can decide that you're not going to play the comparison game and that you're going to focus on yourself, your own race. You could be in your 30s, 40s, 50s, be successful, but do you really want to have a non fulfilling life? A life where you're constantly thinking that you are not enough? Because that is the worst place to be in. And this is coming from a guy who was 165 kilos. I played this game. It's mental torture, guys. We talk about mental abuse. That's mental abuse. When all I did was scroll on Instagram looking for hacks, looking for these gym bros to give me something. When in reality, the solution was very simple. It was eat right and work out. But me constantly comparing myself to other people who were in great shape, who had the disciplined life, who were genetically enhanced, if you will, I created a lot of mental obstacles when I really didn't. I was better off focusing on what I needed to do, focusing on my workout, focusing on my diet. But instead, I wasted a lot of time doing scrolling up and down. Oh, I could do the carnivore diet. I can do this. Coupled, coupled that with when you see everyone else being super successful, and these people are on business class airlines, and you're like, dude, I am struggling here. Am I ever gonna reach there? These guys are in the Ferraris, nice destinations, happy relationship. What does that do? You all of a sudden start thinking from lack, is it even possible? And the answer is yes, it is possible. You can have it. But you need to focus on what do you want? Because everything, you can have everything, but you can't have everything at the same time. You need to decide what is important. And this is why it's so key to prioritize what do you truly want. Because we are now bombarded with you need to have a house, you need to be earning 100K a month, you need to be having a Ferrari, you need to be having a Lamborghini in order for you to be successful. Because success is different for everyone. My definition of success varies from yours. You may not want that. All you may want is a little house and a dog. that's you. You may not even want a relationship. So why do we put ourselves in situations where the outcome is always stacked against us? It's because we are led to believe that this is true fulfillment, when in reality it isn't. True fulfillment comes from within. When you ask yourself the questions of what do you truly want in life? Because what you truly want will differ from what I want, what Mr. Joe Blogs wants, what Katie wants. It varies. And it's important that it varies. I may want $1 billion. You may not want that. Because in order for you to have that, there's a level of sacrifice that goes in there. Are you willing to sacrifice? That's the most important question you need to ask. And if you aren't, then don't set yourself up for failure. Because all that leads to is heartbreak and a lot of self doubt. And this is why people hold themselves back, because they are playing this comparison game and they are not fully present, and they're not actively taking interest in their life, because the other person, he may want that life and he's not thinking about you. You need to be obsessed and focused on what you want. How do you want to show up? Because I tell you, I have made more progress in the last year than I ever did, simply because I quit thinking about the what ifs. I decided what I wanted, and I decided that I am not going to stop until I get there. And it was as simple as that. And sometimes you need to have those discussions with yourself, because the answers will come. But you need to have those brutal conversations where you ask yourself, what do you want in life? If you want a great physique, your diet better be in order, you better work out, and that may require you saying no to things that you like. It may be saying no to social events. It may be saying no to carrot cake, like in my case. I can occasionally have that. So if you want a great relationship, you need to figure out what kind of spouse you want. You may need to go on tens of dates in order to find the right one. But those answers truly come from inside when you are able to have a sit down with yourself. This is why it's so important to play and stay in your own lane. Because what somebody else does doesn't affect you. So why give them the time and energy? Use that energy to put it in your life. Because that's where you're going to get the most return on effort. And solve, all you need to be thinking is, what's the next step? I promise you, it will change your life. I climbed Mount Snowdon last Sunday, right? On the 7th. I can tell you, the first 3 miles I was okay. The 4th mile was so tough. And you know how I got to summit? I started saying this to myself. You wanted this. Because I had set myself a goal. I want to do something fun every single year. And that was because I had lost weight. I just wanted to check out what it feels like. I was willing to endure pain because I wanted that. And this is why it's important to focus on what you want. That may not be someone's idea of fun, but it was very fun to me. I had a blast. It showed me a different perspective, that You can have everything in life, but it comes at a cost. And when you summit, you have this feeling of, oh wow, I finally achieved it. And then you look back, you've covered so much ground, you're above clouds and you've covered so much. That's the metaphor of life. That was the journey I was meant to be on. It was filled with obstacles, hardships, took breaks, but you carried on. That's how life is. But if you are every minute you hit an obstacle and you start thinking and changing your plans, maybe I'll just do this, maybe I'll do that, you don't stick to that path. What happens? You will never complete it. And then you will always be stuck in the same lane. Sorry, not lane. You'll be stuck in the same circle of doing, undoing, starting, then finishing, unstarting. You know what I mean? Is unstarting even a word? I don't know. Like, not basic. The moral story is you don't finish what you start. So it's very important that you take audit of what you want and then just bloody go for it. Honestly, just go for it. But be very careful, as Naval Ravikant said. And if you're not familiar with his work, familiarize yourself. A desire is a contract with yourself to be unhappy. So be very careful of what things you desire. If you want wealth, be okay with sacrificing in order for you to achieve that. Because the moral of the story is this: there's no right or wrong. No one is sitting here and say, live a monk life. I don't want that. And your life decisions, your life goals are for you. Yeah? So focus on what you truly want and live. The baseline metric that you need to focus on is it fulfilling me? Is it aligned with my values? And secondly, is it truly what I want? And if those answers are yes, then go for it. But if you can't decide, it's probably a no, and leave it. Don't get to a destination and then realize that's not what you truly wanted, because that is the worst place to be in. And I have been there. It's not nice, not worth the effort, and most likely you will quit on the way. So be smart about it. Everything is possible with effort, but you have to play the game that you truly want. And if you don't take anything away, just take this away. You are responsible for your results. You have your own life, and it's your job to build that life. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. You're unique. God made you unique. You have so many gifts that people don't have, others don't have. But you need to believe in yourself that you can achieve and build the life that you truly want. Because when you start asking yourself questions, answers will come. Just be silent, observe, and write them down. Until next time, I've been Hassan. So, yeah. Also, remember progress over perfection every single day. Every single day, progress over perfection. I want you to just live that lifestyle. Progress over perfection, because that's where fulfillment lies. Because you can set yourself massive goals, but if you are making progress every single day, you will be more fulfilled. And this is what life is about. It's about fulfillment. It's about being happy, going to the destination, on the journey, and when you arrive at the destination. And I'll tell you, is setting yourself little goals. For example, this is my diary for today. These are all the things that I have done today. Eating right, getting my 10K steps in. I just mark out. It's coming from Andy Frisella's Power List. You set your standard every single day. 5 decisions that will move you forward in the life that you want. So keep it simple, stupid. That's the methodology. And also, progress over perfection. Start messy. I've just done this video. I've made bloops. I've made mistakes. But who cares? The whole point is putting yourself in positions, A, which make you grow. Secondly, it encourages and you feel more comfortable doing it. Because the fastest way to get something right is get it wrong. So put yourself in a position where you have to learn something quick and go for it. Honestly, when you look back at your journey, you'll be so happy that you took those chances and that you canceled the noise and you were like a racehorse, put the blinkers on and just went for it. Because when you look back, you'll be like, God damn, I'm so glad that I did it. And that's what I want for you. That's what I am working on myself. And we're in this together. Like I said, I am not a million miles away. Like, I'm still building this with you. So let's do it together. And if you like what I said, follow for more.